Sound check. Benny, what's up?
How's it going?
What's your favorite kind of cheese? Is the framing good?
The framing is beautiful.
Let's talk to a 10.
That's for audio syncing.
Good call.
Thank you.
Just to make sure.
Okay, so this is the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Episode 1.
Episode 1.
The premiere of the podcast.
The premiere of the podcast. And we've got Ronan.
Yo, what's up, guys? I'm Ronan. I am a tech entrepreneur. I on the side, I like to engage in casual French understanding and cheese.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate right there. Yeah, and you all know me, the host of the podcast. Yeah,
they're gonna start on the last episode and work their way backwards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When I become famous, I'll show clips of this.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like, yeah.
Put this in your documentary.
Yeah. I have to blow my nose, but we already started recording, so I guess I'll have to wait. Okay, Ronan. So, first of all, this is a podcast. What is it for? How do we structure the way we go about acting in this podcast, generally speaking?
That's a good question.
It is a good question. What are your thoughts? Tell me your thoughts. Do you want me to give some examples so that you can play off
Yes.
Okay, so what's going to be the theme across the different episodes? Yes.
Teacher, I have a question. What is going on there? I was distracted. I'm not going to be able to focus. Yes.
Yeah. So these are when I went and shot guns. So whoa. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So these are all from 25 yards. This is a Glock.
Okay. Dang, accurate.
These are the first guns I shot, by the way. This was a 9mm carbine rifle. I'm struggling here. Do you want me to go through them all?
Sure. Double checking the
audio.
audio.
There's a 9mm carbine rifle. Let me double check that the podcast is playing. Yep, it's going.
Yeah.
This is a 308.
Wait, does it smell smoky?
No, it smells like a paper plane.
That smells smoky for a second.
No. That's a 308. I don't remember what that was.
Oh my gosh!
This was just like 3 different pistols that I used.
Okay. That's like a machine gun.
No. This was the very first gun I shot. It's a 22. It's like a small rifle.
Nice.
I got 1 out of 10 bullseye. Yeah, like direct on bullseye. This is a 223. This was pretty good. So the thing is, it's got good precision, which is good. Also pretty good accuracy because it's pretty centered. This one, what is this one? Is this back to the Glock? That is the Glock. I'm missing some. Whatever. Yeah, so that's
a cool thing to have.
This is a cool thing to have.
You decorate your room.
Exactly, yeah.
Is that what you're going to do?
I might put one of the plates up, like my first one.
Yeah.
But not all of them. My cousin has one on the fridge of a handgun shots he was taking. Yeah, so
that's pretty cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Alright, what was your question?
So, how are we supposed to structure this podcast? Right. And I was saying, you can answer the question, or I can give an example so you can better kind of understand the context.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'm just trying to regain my train of thought. Podcast. Oh yeah. So what's going to be like the theme across each different episode? So how am I going to say this is episode 1? Why is episode 2 the same podcast basically? And then also within one podcast, what's the theme within one episode? You know.
Right. So pretty much the only podcast I listen to is Distractable. So that's all I have to go off of. But you listen to more different things, right?
I listen to multiple podcasts, but they're basically all philosophy, theology.
What's an example of a continuous theme there is?
I guess I listen to a bit of Joe Rogan. I don't know. Maybe there doesn't need to be a theme. Maybe the theme is just me interviewing different people.
Yeah.
That's a good theme.
It's a good theme.
Wow, you're a genius. You're like a mega genius. You're like mega... the mega... Okay, so But then, so the other thing I was thinking of was, like, it's useful to have a theme of the conversation so that you can play off of that with the other person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, if the conversation isn't continuous, you can make it continuous, but also it can be continuous, but the theme the topic keeps changing, and it becomes too confusing. You know, so it can be useful to have a theme or like a narrative or some kind. You know what I mean?
Per episode?
Would you recommend something like that, or what would you recommend?
It's good. Like having some sort of central thing to keep it united, and
unification,
and also to make it interesting as an episode.
Exactly. That's the other thing. That's a big thing.
Yeah. That's good.
So, like, now that I'm thinking of it, it seems like, well, I don't know if this will be the entire episode, but the theme of the podcast, this episode, is the podcast.
I see.
And I had that in mind, because I was like, oh, I should talk to Ronan about how to structure this.
I like that. Yeah. So, do we need a plan for exactly how we're gonna, like, do we want a framework for what a theme would look like, or?
No, not necessarily. I don't know. I don't know. Well, what would that look like? What do you mean?
I don't even know.
Oh, okay. Well, how about like this?
What if we make a framework for what a framework for a theme would look like, and then we just keep...
Say that again. A framework for a framework of what a theme would look like?
We decide
That's unnecessary recursion. No, so here's what I think we should do. We should just talk, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing. This podcast is like, a big part of it is posterity. Like in 10 years, I can go back and watch like 30 hours. I mean, I'm not going to make 30 episodes, but maybe I will make 30 episodes, you know? Who knows? And then I can laugh at myself. And it's not like I'm going to get 1 million views on YouTube from this, because I'm not going to post it on YouTube.
Maybe. You never know.
I don't think I'm going to post it. Oh, that's the other thing. The things we talk about should be able to be seen by other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you see what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
not esoteric.
But well, here's the thing. Like, there can be a certain degree of esotericness in the sense that, like, if a random person was watching this, like, they might not really understand that much.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, we shouldn't talk about, like, really private things.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, like, other people we know, if they watched it, we should be able to have them watch it. But then also, they'll probably understand it, and it'll be funnier to them because they know us. If they know us, you know?
Exactly, yeah. That's good. Nice sweater.
Like, imagine the highlight clips of this podcast.
Oh, we should make edits.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna make an AMV.
No. I'm not letting you have the recording of this.
You know?
So, we're at an impasse because I had a brain fart. Let me go to my notes. Oh, name. Should I have a name for the podcast? The first question is, should I have a name? The second question would be what?
I think yes, but I think we should let it stew for a little.
Yeah.
Because then we can sort of get a sense of what it is, because we have no clue.
Dude, you're like big brain. What would the name relate to, though? Like, what the podcast is about? So maybe on like the 5th episode, I'm like, oh, I see what's happening in this podcast. Yeah. Now I have a better idea for what it would be named. Okay.
Yeah.
I had this weird idea for a podcast name, which is just called like The Memorable Podcast, because it's memorable.
I see. You get it? It's like fun. I see.
But other than that, I don't have any ideas.
Nice dogs. Thank
you.
Gets them out of frame.
Uncomfortable. Yeah, I'm getting them. It's less comfortable. Make one of those audio sync clacky things out of cardboard or something.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's one of the notes I have.
Like, okay. On the podcast? Or?
I have notes, yeah, for the podcast. I have okay.
Okay, I'll start working on that.
Sure, careful of the audio, don't. Yeah. You should just keep talking you out of frame. Hey, that's actually good. Yeah. Do you have scissors? There's scissors right there.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I moved them from my table. So the other thing is, should it be like a specific time limit? Do you think? Because I was thinking, well, the idea was like, ooh, what if I had it where it's like, oh, it's just an hour. So it's like everything we say in that hour, and then it's like, we might be talking about something really awesome.
I do like
but
that.
It's an hour, so we're done. It's like Unasanas.
It's
right?
like there's this podcast called Friends Till Death.
Yeah.
That Doug makes, where he plays a game with his friend, and if they die, they instantly end the podcast.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah,
Wait, Doug has that?
Yeah, with his I forget his friend his
What
name
games? No, he doesn't.
Like honestly, it's just random games. I haven't really kept up with it, but it was.
If it was Minecraft, that would work because they could live.
Did they do Minecraft? I forget.
But if it was like Noida.
Yeah, there's some where they die in like 30 seconds. It's like a very short podcast.
That's so sad.
But it's fun because you never know how long it's gonna be. And they add like just empty space to the end of the video, so you can't look at.
Oh, that's good. Okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Is it? Are they all like 2 hours?
They're all like 3 hours long.
Yeah, that's why. Are there Easter eggs in the middle of it?
I'm not sure. I haven't looked.
Oh,
but yeah,
somebody has. Okay. Wow, you're really making it.
Thank you. I think we should scrap this rough material here.
Sure.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, I was saying. Yeah. I think it's a good idea because it makes us want to sort of condense it and make it more juicy instead of just like.
Exactly, that's the point of it. It's a condensation. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a condensation of meaning and value in the podcast. So we have to get everything out in 1 hour.
Yeah.
It's 11:28 right now. We probably started like 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. We'll end at the latest at 12. It's 11:30 at night, by the way. At what, 12:25, say? Latest.
Dang. Okay. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty late.
We're not gonna get to watch Blue Lock.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll end earlier.
We could do a hyper episode.
Part 2 tomorrow with a special surprise.
Ooh, okay. Tune back in.
Sure, yeah, let's do that.
Tune in next time on Dragon Ball Podcast to see Will Benjamin kill me.
So 12 then?
Or
do you want to watch Blue Lock early? You want to watch Blue Lock?
I do.
Okay. So, here's another question.
Yes.
If you were gonna make a podcast with the intention of publishing it, what would your goals be for that? And I guess I'm kind of assuming certain goals because you're publishing it, but if you were gonna, have you thought about making a podcast before? Because you've thought about YouTube stuff.
I guess so. Yeah.
What would you would the point be just for fun, or what? I gotta find the clap too.
Okay, we're officially started.
Yeah. What's up, Joel?
What's up, guys?
Would the purpose of your podcast be to make money, or would it be just for fun and to see how popular you could get, or what would it be?
I guess if I were to make a podcast, I guess it'd be some kind of combination. And that's a good question. I guess it's also good to formalize your ideas, get them in. If not writing, then in recording is also cool.
That's very related to everything I've been thinking about.
Really?
Well, it's very related to my writing thingy, my essay.
Yeah. You're an inspiration to me. What can I say?
Thank you. Okay, so it would be to talk and just get your ideas out, basically, or that would be part of it.
Yeah,
that's cool. I had 2 questions and I forgot the first, but I guess I'll ask the second one. Oh yeah, what do you think the general theme of your podcast would be? Because I feel what do you think the general theme would be, or what type of podcast would it be? Would it be Because, like, there's a lot of different types of... Like, there are, like, podcasts that are, like, horror podcasts where they just have, like, horror stories that they make up and stuff.
Yeah.
Or there's, like, just comedy. Or there's just, like, talking like Joe Rogan. He just brings... Like, the thing with Joe Rogan is just different guests with different types of stories and stuff. So what would it be, like a guest one, or would it be like a... Yeah?
Is this, like, is based off for, like, inspiration for this podcast, or is this just generally speaking?
Both. Just whatever.
Both? Okay. So if I were to start a podcast, I feel like I would just want to make Distractable, honestly.
What is Distractable?
They just, like... Am I just going to summarize the Distractable?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Summarize it.
Basically, every week there's a host, and they come up with what the game of the episode's going to be. And
So wait, is it the same hosts, or it's all different?
There's 3 people, and one of them is the host. And there's some random game that the host defines. And based on that game, the host gives up points. And whoever has the most points at the end is the host for the next episode.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
What mode of game? Like Jeopardy, or
like tell a story or something, or like here's a secret. There's like secret words ones, and just all sorts of different things. Any different criteria. The one I watched most recently was like guess the conspiracy theory. It was like he provided some hints and stuff, and then you had to guess it. You know, it's sick.
That's weird.
It's good.
That sounds good though. That's an interesting. They've got a thing going. You know what I mean? They've got a thing.
It sounds like a fun thing to do. As an activity. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For this one, I feel like, well, part of it, I said earlier, it's like posterity, but then also just like, well, like talking, I guess, but also like kind of comedy. Not in the sense of like, well, yeah, I guess comedy in the sense
Are you gonna
that
do
like
a set?
No,
Coming
like,
soon
not,
to a podcast near you. Benjamin Guy set.
That's not what I'm saying. It's not like a set, but it is like the conversation. Like when we have conversations, they're already funny.
Yeah,
but that's a big part of it, and that's a big part of the posterity of it as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because it'll be like double funny in like a decade, right? What do you think? How would you think you would be able to like make money, like get enough popularity to make money? You haven't thought that far ahead yet?
I know, man. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know anything about podcasts. Get a billboard. Put your face on it really big. Say, look at my podcast.
You mean like on the highway?
Yeah, or just on the side of this residence building. Just hang up a giant banner.
That's like what's it called? In like lobby spamming, like Tommy Innit lobby spamming. Tommy Innit used to lobby spam when he started. Like he goes into Hypixel and he says sub to Tommy Innit. Or doing that in real life is like better.
Or we get shirts and we give them out to people. And like, you want this cool shirt? It has my face on it.
But then you lose money because you have to buy shirts.
But it's earned media. Have you heard about that? Have you heard about
what?
Earned media?
No.
I heard Matt Pat talking about this, I think. But it's like you have, when you're trying to promote something, you have like paid media where you spend money to get some advertising on something, and it's like earned media where you make something that people want to talk about, so it creates publicity on its own just because out of the merit of the thing.
You make like something in what sense? Like, because like you can make a video and then people like talk about it. Like people talk about Mr. Beast's Squid Game video, or because that's his most popular one, right?
Yeah, but like,
or do you mean like like Feastables or something?
That kind of thing. I'm trying to think of the example that it was, but like, just if you aren't if you're getting that attention through means other than just like paying people to talk about it, you know what I mean?
Paying for ads. Yeah. No, I see what you mean. That's cool.
Yeah, it's a cool concept.
It is a cool concept.
Oh!
We're running into a problem.
Yes.
The problem is we're running out of things. We're not talking about something now. You know? Or we're not like we were just talking about something, but then there was a pause in the conversation. So how do we make it so there can be should there be a continual flow of conversation? Like, how long a pause is too long a pause? You know what I mean?
Dang. Asking the deep questions.
I am.
Well, I just kind of assumed you were going to ask the next question.
Okay, no, that's fair enough. See, that's why I came up with the other question of like, oh, how do we ensure that there is enough length for it? So that's the other thing. Maybe I should have a prep given the person I'm doing.
Yeah,
I actually started that for Joe a little.
Really? Okay.
I have one question for Joe, and it's, why did you become Orthodox? That's my one question for Joe.
Is he Orthodox?
No. that's the joke. There was a time when he was very interested in Orthodoxy and the East, and I was like, Joe, don't be an Orthodox, and he was like, ah. He wasn't like actually going to be, but he was like, I don't know, interested in Eastern theology and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the joke.
That's good. Also, I was also going to say, I think
because the format of this, I'm prepping to transition to the next question, so I'm not as much like it's less of a what?
What do you mean?
I'm behaving in less of like a. I'm
Normal
less inclined to pass
conversation,
it back to you because I know you're gonna pass me back a question. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Well, I think maybe there's a reason why is because I'm thinking when I start talking about a thing, like right now even, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't be talking. You should be talking because you're the podcast.
Right.
But then again, if I don't have questions, it can just be a conversation where both of us are talking
Right.
a relatively decent amount. Like I was explaining something earlier about like, oh, I had this idea for the podcast, and I was like, oh, I shouldn't be talking, but it's fine if I am really. So. But I should have prep, and maybe I should have prep like I should estimate like this many questions, which should take about this amount of time. If each question takes about 2 minutes or 3 minutes or 1 minute, however long they take, or maybe I categorize long, medium, and short questions. You know what I mean? Like for prep.
Yeah.
So my prep is, if the podcast is supposed to be 1 hour exactly, and it's like a cutoff thing, then I'll have a certain amount of questions for a whole hour, basically.
I think it's almost interesting if we just have it cut off and we don't know when it's coming up. And then the viewers have like a timer so they can see when it's like counting down. It's like 10, 9, 8. We're in the middle of a deep conversation. And it just goes off and we're cut off.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is like we set an alarm and it just like it starts blaring and like oh we cut it off. cut it.
Wait. So are you saying we keep talking past it and then we check later? And
no,
you're saying that. Okay, so you're saying we have
set
an
alarm for an hour at the start,
and then we just stop.
But we don't look at the alarm.
Oh, okay, sure. That would be good. That's actually, I'm gonna do that. I think. Yeah. What should we talk about now?
Do you have no more questions?
I don't have any more.
Okay, let's go. We're finally free. We can speak our minds.
What do you mean we're free? Did you have like a mental block because I still had questions or something?
I'm joking.
Oh, okay. See, you drank that normally. Never mind, you didn't.
I'll teach you a lesson. Teach you not to talk about when we're drinking.
What should we talk about?
What is your thoughts on fashion?
Fashion? In what sense?
Like when people put pants on their head to look fashionable, what does that speak to you about?
I'd say that is a sign of a very, very high intelligence on the part of the person putting the pants on. Yeah, no. But what do you mean specifically? Do you mean like, what thoughts on what part of fashion?
Like the way people think about fashion, the way they choose to approach it in their lives.
Like the world, like how people generally, or how specific people?
Do you have any advice to the people about how they should approach fashion?
Yeah, okay, sure. That's a good question, Ronan. We've switched roles. Okay, so fashion is like, what is fashion? Fashion is like making yourself look good in a certain way by the clothes you wear and the way you present yourself.
And people want to be like confident through their clothes. And
people do want to be confident through their clothes and express themselves, express their emotions and their personality. Exactly. And that is all valid. That's all good, actually. Like you should. It is a good thing to take note of what you wear based on how you would appear when you wear it. Well, let me think about that for a second.
What?
I said it's a good thing to take note of what you're wearing, and thinking about like how you're looking in what you're wearing. You know what I mean? Like it is a good thing to think about what you're wearing. I guess the other side of that is like,
I hope I'm in frame when I'm over here.
I think you are in frame.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure. Just so you know.
That's fine.
Imagine we're both not in frame.
Hey guys, what's up? This is me. Those are the
That's
dogs.
a good idea right there.
Hand
the whole podcast is just me and another person talking, but we have to have hand
Get the dogs out of here.
Who let the dogs out?
Okay.
Puppets for the whole podcast. I was saying it's a good thing to be able to, or it's a good thing to take note of what you're wearing based on how you look in it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, put that more centered between us. Yeah, you know what I mean? But then the other side of that is like, you can be overly worried about the way you look, and so it can be a good thing to stop caring about how you look. But I don't know.
What do you think the importance of it is?
The importance of fashion?
It's important to think about how you look and what you're wearing, but why do you think that?
Why do I think it's important? Oh, because I think, well, number one, you should look like presentable to other people in public. That's the first thing. So like you shouldn't be like naked.
Really?
Yeah, I know. So like that's the first thing. The other thing is like looking. You should look good, or you should try to look good because, I don't know. It's a good thing to look good. Well, yeah, it's a good thing in itself to look good. Like if you can choose to look less good versus more good, all else being the same, why would you not choose to look more good?
What if you're in the most ugly competition?
Sure, whatever. That doesn't count though. That's not general. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you should look good. Oh, also looking good makes other people like you more, or like makes other people more open to the way that you are acting and like, how do I say it? Like they're more inclined to be benevolent towards you in a certain sense.
I like that word. What does that mean?
Oh, good-willing, I guess.
Yeah.
Like not malevolent. Malevolent, like that's a malevolent. I don't know. You know what malevolent means?
Yeah.
The opposite of that, benevolent.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, and yeah, when you look good, people give you more opportunities than they may otherwise give you.
Ever think about this? Benevolent, Benny, violent.
Yeah, you're right.
Does that mean that you are violent?
No, I'm just not benevolent. Just kidding.
But those are like opposite meanings.
What?
If you are benevolent...
I don't think it's violent. I don't think that... like, bene is the first part of it, but I don't think violent, like, violence is the second part of it. It's like volent. Like, it's not the same... it doesn't have the same meaning as the root of the term violent, or maybe it just does have the same root, but it's not the same meaning as the word violent. They're not the same. Anyways,
Are you sure?
I'm
Continue.
pretty sure. Oh yeah, so it's good to look good. Yeah. What do you think is the importance of fashion?
Looking good.
Looking good? Yeah.
You're looking good. That's what I said.
Okay, thank you. But what do you think is the importance of fashion?
I think. I think I asked you. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. I think it's been about half hour. Do you want to close it now?
What time is it?
I don't know. It's almost midnight, probably. It's probably like 11:40. 11:47.
Okay, it's Blue Lock time.
All right, Blue Lock. We're watching.
This program is shortly will be interrupted by a brief Blue Lock. So tune in next time.
Don't get so close to the camera, please.
Let me get my thing. Tune in. Thanks for
We'll
listening.
be back for part 2 of
I
this
hate the
episode
microphone.
with a special surprise. Yeah, a special surprise.
No, I just did a clacker. That's what we made this.
Oh, okay. Do you do that at the end? Is that what those are for?
No, but see you guys.
Okay. What? All right, we're starting.
You do your own clacker. Wait, but why are you clapping? The audio's not on.
Dude.
You don't have to reset it. We just keep going.
Yeah, whatever. All right. So, it is 12:02 a.m. November 9th, 2024.
Yeah.
It's Saturday now.
Wait, what? Is it after midnight?
Yeah, it's midnight right now. 12:02 a.m. This is the second part of the first episode of the podcast, and here we are back at it again with Ronan.
Here with my toasty bum. It's going great. We're on full power mode right now.
Yep, and I've been prepping.
I've heard.
Ronan, first of all, what do you want to talk about today? Is there anything on your mind that you say, man, yeah, you gotta,
There's just this guy. He's been hanging out in my room. He's driving me crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Oh my gosh, you should make him leave, like soon, like tomorrow.
Like tomorrow, yeah. I think you know what? I'll probably kick him out tomorrow.
Kick him out on the bus or something.
Yeah, I'll send him to the spa again.
No. Okay. So, given that,
yeah.
These are ChatGPT questions, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
You can even write your own questions, huh?
I wrote some of them. Here's one. If you had to live in a TV show for a month, which one would you choose?
Dang.
I know what one you would choose, I think.
Really?
No, I have a guess, but just say it first.
It's not Haikyuu. Is that what you thought? What were you thinking?
No, if I say it, that'll influence your answer.
Okay, fine. I wouldn't want to be in Haikyuu because that's just one high school. That doesn't make any sense. But that would be cool to, I don't know, meet them or something. But what show would I be in? What TV show?
Yeah.
The problem with TV shows is most of them are very dangerous.
Yeah.
Like JoJo, I'm gonna die. I'm not a JoJo.
That was what I was gonna say.
Yeah, okay.
But what if you get your own stand?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, then I'm gonna get hunted down by Dio or something, or he's gonna.
Dude, just be in part 4.
Oh my gosh.
Part 4 isn't that dangerous.
I guess that's true, but most of them are either evil or they die, or like. Anyway, TV show. I don't watch that many TV shows, but
Anime, same thing.
I feel like it would be cool. You haven't seen this, but the Owl House. Because that's one of those things where it's like a fantasy world where everything's kind of cuckoo and there's magic and stuff. But somehow, like, nobody ever dies because it's a kid's show.
Mm.
So, like, they, like, always narrowly avoid death. So I feel like I'd probably be safe. Like, there's not too many...
The Owl House? Oh, you told me about that one.
Wait, are there deaths in that show? I don't think so. Does anyone,
No, you mentioned that to me before.
I'm trying to think if there's a death in the Owl House. Whatever. But I don't think that anyone dies, so, you know.
Okay. Good option. Good insight into the nature of this question, you know? Okay, I've got some. I'm going to go through first. I have some of my questions, but first I want to go through some ChatGPT questions.
Okay.
That's my question.
What am I interviewing with
I love
ChatGPT
these
now?
my questions.
Thanks.
If you could have dinner with any 3 people, living or dead, who would you invite and why?
Ooh, first Jesus, obviously. Gotta get my big J.
Okay.
Second,
Like mass?
what?
Like mass?
Mass?
Like mass?
Like mass?
you're having a dinner with Jesus.
That's true. Yeah. Then who else would I pick? That's a tricky question.
How about other than Jesus?
Oh, there's 3.
Like, yeah.
Oh, the
sure.
Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit.
No,
Done.
No, give me like a other than those people, you know.
Yeah.
Those people.
Dang, I'm trying to think if there's like a YouTuber or something I would want to like meet with or something.
Like a president or something like that. Famous guy, I don't know.
Who wants to meet up with like some rusty old?
Benjamin
Yeah, who wants to meet with that stinky guy? I don't know.
What about like an author you really like? Like I would love to talk to who would I? Oh, Jordan Peterson. There we go.
Jordan Peterson.
Again, he's alive. You know, I could do that one day. I bet I'll meet Jordan Peterson one day.
You think?
I think so.
Yeah, that makes sense. Honestly, I can see that.
Yeah. I'll just next time he comes, just buy one of his meet and greet tickets. Or like Aquinas or something. Like that would be sick. Or who else? I don't know. You go though. You tell me. Or you can ping pong them back to me. Do you have anyone that you would want to like?
I want to meet.
Yeah.
Or like have dinner with.
Yeah. Or go play golf with, or whatever.
Go play golf. Okay, that changes it. That changes it. Wait. Golf. Okay.
Yeah. Like who's that guy who had a bunch of affairs, but he was really, really good at golf? You know.
No.
He's like the golfer guy, like the best golfer who ever lived, basically, or something.
Yeah.
Best golfer. Quiz time. Who was the best golfer who ever lived?
Something like Fox or something.
Yeah, something.
I don't think it's actually Fox.
Maybe it's Terry something. Fox.
Oh my gosh. Sing Pines? Are you Googling this right now?
I'm trying to find his name. I don't know. Tiger Woods.
Maybe it's an animal thing. Yeah. Same thing. Wait, I said Fox. Wait.
You said Fox.
Pines. Tiger Woods.
Black Tiger.
I was narrowing in on it, you know?
Yeah.
You know, the word associations, they were there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Doug maybe. That'd be cool.
Okay, yeah.
But like, I feel like, I don't know, I get the weird sense that I wouldn't like mesh that well with Doug. Like, actually in person.
Yeah.
I don't know, he just seems like a goof, like, I don't know. Like,
he is a goof, and so are you. So, I mean, yeah.
But, like, he's one of those people, like, I really enjoy watching his personality, but I feel like actually hanging out with
Are you recording audio?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Yeah. I don't know. I get the sense that, like, I don't know, if it wouldn't, like, we'd clash or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird how that works sometimes, like, because I love the dude watching him, but...
Right.
Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Danny would be sick.
Danny Gonzalez.
I feel like I could get along with Danny.
Yeah.
Because Danny's kind of chill, he's goofy, he's wacky, I'm balls on him, you know.
Okay, next question. That's my question. Oh, here's a good one. If you could turn any event, like historical or whatever, into a Netflix series or a movie or something, what would it be? But then also, you can flip it around and say, if you could make any show
Into
or something,
a real thing.
like, have it be real, which one would it be? What would it be? Like, would you want JoJo to be real? Or say or say like, it's not like the whole show is real,
The event from
but say like the whatever from it, like stands would be real.
Oh, okay,
Like, you don't need like Dio to be real, but like you could say
right.
the nature of the universe would be real in the real universe.
Here's the thing about JoJo.
Like, you could have stands.
Here's the thing about JoJo.
Or like Avatar. Yeah. What about
What
that?
percentage of the population in JoJo has a stand?
Not that many.
0.001%.
And you would be one.
No, yeah.
No. That's how it would work.
Really.
Yeah, because if you're choosing that universe to apply, if you're choosing that show to apply to the world, then you would benefit from it, or benefit from it in the sense that you'd actually have, you'd be different. So, like, say, like the Avatar: The Last Airbender world, right? Like, it wouldn't be like, oh, you can't. Everyone else can bend, but you're not a bender. You know, like, you would be a bender in this.
That would be kind of sick.
Honestly, that might be the
like bending.
I don't know, yeah.
But like, what would bending actually? If bending was in the real, what would happen? Like today, if there were benders, what would happen?
Chaos.
Probably a lot of chaos.
Because the infrastructure of everything doesn't have the ability to, I don't know, withstand.
Probably about like lots of riots, honestly.
Lots of riots, lots of burning buildings, lots of torn up roads.
Yeah, this sounds fun.
Tsunamis.
This sounds lots of fun.
Tsunamis. Waterbenders and airbenders are kind of the least effective, I guess. I don't know, a lot of plumbing issues. A lot of plumbing ability to fix plumbing. Because you can bend it out.
Suddenly everyone has all this bending stuff, but no one has practiced. So they're riding, but they suck at it. They're like,
well, that exactly, like firebenders would be like that, because the firebenders are all hot-headed, right? But also, they would suck.
They're like trying to bend, but they're
yeah,
like
actually,
barely.
then again, I guess they would only bear the people who start to like figure it out. But they wouldn't have control over it. That would be the issue.
Yeah. People are like rising in the streets and they have no clue what they're doing.
Okay. Yeah. That's true. But.
Mm-hmm.
So like, okay, but ignore like the problems with that kind of thing. You know what I mean? But just like the coolness. Like, what would you want to do? What kind of abilities would you want to have? Like, would you want to be a bender, or would you want to have a stand? You know what I mean?
For a while,
or would you want to whatever?
For a while, my favorite power, or like what I wanted or whatever, was the power from Life is Strange. Have you heard that game?
No.
Basically, it's pretty simple. There's the main character, and she has the ability to rewind time and stuff.
Like JoJo. Like JoJo.
No.
They're different. Like Kira from JoJo.
Sort of. But she just like rewinds time and stuff. And like, cause that'd be sick to be like it'll change anything, but also
just rewind all time. Like you could go back to Hitler and then kill him or something.
I think probably canonically yes, but in the game no. Like you can.
It's just like
in the scene.
Like I go back to yesterday, or I go back to 10 minutes ago before I had a certain conversation.
I didn't play the whole game to be honest, but I think
I
think she could probably go back if she wanted to. But
like, how much does she use it? Like a day? Like does she go back a day, or is it just like
day?
Yeah. A day. Okay.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
But yeah. The more I've thought about it, the more I really don't want that power because I would second guess everything and I'd never get anything done.
Yeah, exactly. That's counter acting to the thing we were talking about the other day about like choosing things, and it's not exactly about making the right choice, but like committing.
That would completely disrupt the whole like the whole structure of what decisions are in my life.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know.
Do you want me to hit you into another hard hitting question?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. This is one of mine. The rest are all mine, actually.
I hope I'm in frame.
I put it at 0.9, so you are in frame. I'm pretty sure you are. If you could be invincible and feel no pain, what would you do? And like, let's say it's like for either like a day or say like 1 minute or something. Like, what would you want to do? And then you activate this ability and then do something and then you're done. Like just a one-time thing. So like what I was thinking is you could like go through like a garbage disposal or something.
Why would you want to do that? That's crazy.
Well, because I don't know. Like think about it. You could be in,
are you like? What do you mean invincible? Like I wouldn't be able to.
So like your body's fully invincible.
I wouldn't be able to get through the garbage disposal.
It would.
I would get trapped inside.
It would crush your bones or something. But then I don't know.
You didn't think through this very well.
No, I did. Listen. So like, say I took a sword and I tried to chop your neck. You chop your head off. It wouldn't work, right?
Like what? I don't know what I would use that for. Like I just.
Well, just it would. Wouldn't it be fun? Like, okay, you could like jump off a cliff, right? That would be fun, don't you think?
That would be kind of fun, I guess. Yeah.
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 But is there anything else? Because like you could do that. You could walk through fire. Because it's painless. That's the thing.
Here's the thing: if you're
being filmed, by the way, just so you know.
I know. If you can't feel the fire, you might as well just watch a video.
No. You can't feel pain. You can feel sensation.
Really?
But not pain. Yeah.
Pain is sensations.
Huh?
Pain is sensations.
You can feel all sensations but pain. That's what I'm saying. Come on, accommodate the question, Ronan. All sensations
I just instinctually start debating you on
everything. Come on, you gotta help me out here.
Yeah.
Wait, is there anything you would want to do? Because when I thought of that, I was like, oh my gosh, that'd be so cool. You could like go to garbage disposal. You could go to garbage disposal. You could jump off a building, jump off a cliff.
Yeah, that's the one cool thing is you get to jump off things.
You could try to deadlift, or you could try to squat like 2,000 pounds, and then get like crushed underweight by it, but it'd be okay. You know what I mean? So like you could feel that sensation on your back, but it wouldn't hurt. You know what I mean? Like you could do risky things.
I guess.
And you could have someone beat you up.
I think you're just a masochist.
You could be like, hey man, you want to beat me up for like $100? And they're like, yeah. You could go to prison and start a riot or something.
This is like masochism on easy mode.
What does that even mean?
I don't know, but...
Okay. So what, you want a new question then? Well, I got a new question.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I did that question. Oh, okay. Here's an interesting idea. So, when you know French, right? How much French do you know?
I can read and like listen to it mostly. And
so if someone's speaking to you in French, you can understand them?
If they're like speaking in a clear way, like if they're not speaking like an actual French person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you hear words, do you translate them in your mind into English, or do you just know the meaning of what they are?
Probably for like a decent bit of the words, I know what they are, but like I don't know, like for like maybe some extended vocabulary, I have to try to translate. But
okay,
for the main words, I can.
Because I want to learn French, or I want to learn another language, and French is the language I know the most of, even though I don't know French in the sense that I'm not conversational in any way with it.
Yeah.
But I want to learn to speak another language
in French.
Huh?
Do the rest of the podcast in French.
Oui.
Ne peux...
Je is pense? No, pense is to know. Or to think.
Pense is think, yeah.
Je veux parler français. Boom. I want to speak French.
Ça c'est très bon.
What?
Je espère... Wait, is that Spanish? Je espère... Is that
Oui.
Que
I don't know what that meant.
Win.
Tout le monde. Okay, so I want to learn to speak French because when I was doing like French at school, at my peak, I started to like understand words.
Yeah.
Not without translating.
Yeah.
And it was so weird because it was like learning another language, but
what?
No, but it was like learning how to think in a different mode.
I guess so.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it like extends your capacity of thinking.
Yeah,
It's like
so weird.
It's like that book,
What book?
1984.
What does it talk about?
There's a whole.
That's a book I need to read.
You haven't read that?
No, I haven't read
That's
that.
crazy.
But I need to read it because
One of the major plot points is the government that's trying to control everybody. They're getting rid of language, and they're making this language called Newspeak, where you like can't say anything at all, and everything is kind of meaningless. So no one can really think because there's no words to think with. Yeah.
That's weird. That's really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd probably like 1984.
I think I would.
Yeah. That was one of my favorite like English books. It was actually kind of interesting. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That and like
I heard it's dry.
Dry?
Yeah, I don't know, from the people in my school. But I don't know. I feel like even if a book is dry in that sense, I feel like I would be able to read it and be like, wow, this is super like deep or something, and it wouldn't be dry for me now.
Yeah, I find it less dry, but
That's
I guess.
Yeah.
You ever have that thing where your perspective sort of warps and you sort of lose sense of distance and
Yeah, it's called Alice in Wonderland syndrome.
Yeah, you're really small right now. Yeah.
I used to get that all the time. When I was a
Really?
kid. Yeah, all the time. I don't really get it very much now, but I used to get weird. I used to get that a lot. I used to get audio like sensations.
This is so weird. You're just shrinking.
Have you ever got weird audio sensations where everything sounds really loud? Like all the time? Like everything sounds really loud. Like you'll hear a door shut and it's like way too loud.
This is like blowing my mind right now. I've never had it this intensely. Oh!
It's the power of the podcast.
Yeah, it's transferred you to another world and being taken away. Help. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I often get it when I'm like at night when I'm looking at my phone and the phone's like brighter in the room or whatever, and it's like the phone like goes away.
Yeah. Or you're like, do you ever get it where I used to get this thing at night where when I was sleeping, sometimes it would be because I'm like leaning on my cheek in such a way that my eyes kind of skewed. But like you feel like your vision is vibrating.
Yeah,
You get that?
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it's really weird.
That reminds me of one memory in cadets where Joe was like, if you take your eyes and you press them like this, it's like you're getting high, And because you can see the
Joe said that? That's hilarious.
You can see the black and white spots in your eyes, you know what I'm talking about? Oh, that's
when
like
you press them.
If you do it for long,
this is gonna be a clip. How to get high without getting high? Top of your eye or what? That is such a Joe thing. Oh my gosh, dude.
Oh, it's starting to happen. I can see.
I don't know what you're talking about. How much pressure am I supposed to be putting?
Just like a tiny bit. Ooh, it's blue. Why is it blue?
I'm gonna do this after. Okay, wait.
That was weird. This one was black and white. This one was black and blue.
What am I supposed to do?
You just like put a little bit of pressure on your thing, like
on the center of my eye.
Yeah.
Do you know what's interesting? The end of what's like the lens of your eye.
Yeah.
Like your eye is a sphere, except the lens is like bulbs out. And the way I know that, well, I guess diagrams have it like that. This hurts.
Yeah, it's kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'll bet. Well, I feel.
Why does Alice in Wonderland effect exist?
I don't know. What was I saying?
It feels so weird.
You still have it?
Yes.
That's crazy. Can't you like shake it off?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not.
No.
What was I gonna say? Do you ever close your eyes and try to focus on what you're visually perceiving? Like you when you close your eyes and you try to look at what color it is, Because like right now it's not the same color as it is right now. Like now it's really black, but there's also some kind of weird fuzziness through the whole thing, like TV static.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you do it with your eyes, it gets stronger.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
But also like it's almost pinkish, or like with the light, it's lighter. It's very weird.
Exactly. You're so tiny right now.
Dude.
This is gonna be going for the whole podcast. You're just gonna be getting smaller and smaller.
Oh my god. Okay, how about we go to another question then? Dude, your phone has a microphone in it.
What? I know.
It's gonna be like when you do that.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Don't do.
This is the ASMR segment.
No, I'm not gonna put that in. Okay. Like that.
We should do an ASMR episode. I would love that.
Do you daydream?
To what extent?
Any extent?
I feel like everyone daydreams to something. Like,
Yeah. Okay.
like.
Do you feel like you daydream a lot, or like just not notable?
Like, you example. What keeps you daydream?
Here. I'll give you an example. I feel like very often I'll just be sitting like on the couch, or like when I was working, just sitting in the car, just like not looking at anything, but just like thinking about everything. Just like daydreaming about everything, and like I think whenever I think about stuff, I it's almost like I'm mapping stuff out.
Yeah.
Like there's this thing Jordan Peterson always says. He's quoting someone else. He's like, your thoughts are so. What is it? I forget what it is, but it's like you have thoughts about things, and you let your thoughts die instead of yourself, because you can think things through and map them out, and you say, oh, if I do this, it's not going to work, so I'll do this. You know what I mean? What is that?
Wait,
let your thoughts die instead of you. Let me get that
like
quote.
you become immortal?
The purpose of thinking is to let the ideas die. Where is it? Instead of us dying. No. Like you think about how to act in the world in the right way as opposed to the wrong ways.
Why do the ideas have to die?
Well, because it's like if you have an idea about a way to act, and then you think about it and you let it play out, and it's like, oh, that doesn't go well, so I have to let go of the idea. But by letting go of the idea, I can live. You know.
Right.
But anyways. Yeah, so I feel like I'm always, like, thinking through, like, I don't know, like, situations about, like, what I would do or what I could do in life and in, like, social situations especially, I feel like. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Do you feel like you do that a lot? Or no?
Like a fair bit. Like, I get you mean with the social thing, like when you...
social thing is probably the biggest thing.
When you, like, have an erection, like, you think about it, and
you're like, it's almost like you've got like a situation and you're like replaying it.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I don't know.
You're like re-rolling until you get a good roll or something.
I remember like back in middle school and stuff, I especially had this thing where basically whenever I said anything, I just like replay it in my head over and over. You ever get that?
What you said?
Yeah. Like
replaying it to like understand how other people perceived what you said? Yeah. So like when I have awkward social situations, they'll recur in my head all the time.
Yeah.
It's so annoying. It's such a pain. You know, my dance teacher, Kathleen, she told me she talked so much. She talked about this thing. It's like the 9-day rule. Like if you say something dumb or something in 9 days, no one's gonna care. Like people will forget about it. You know. So I always think of that. But yeah, like
I remember though.
Okay. Yeah. Was that uncomfortable? Like thinking about.
I mean, most of the time not. Most of the time it was just like, that was what I said. Yep. And then.
But why did you replay it in your mind then?
It's just an instinct, you know. Like
that's
you want
strange.
Really?
Were you like double checking?
Yeah. I mean,
really? Because for me, it's just like, shoot, like that sounded awkward in this perspective, and then it's like I need to like figure out like okay, like I'm overthinking.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some cases where it's like, oh, that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
And there's also sometimes where it's like, yeah, that was pretty good. And I'm like replaying to like think about it.
Okay.
It's a mixture. It's a full range. And I think about it regardless. Yeah.
What is the thing which you are personally best at, like doing?
Oh, dang.
Yeah, and I can throw in another little grenade.
Ooh,
Grenade
okay,
is not the right term, but throw in another thing. What's the thing which you're most naturally gifted at? And those might be different. You know what I mean? Like you might be better at one thing, but you have a more natural instinct, or like you're more naturally gifted in one thing. You know what I mean?
Oh man, that's a really tough question.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And I feel like I really need to dig deep, and it's gonna take so long.
Okay. You can ruminate it on you can ruminate on it in the back of your mind, and I can ask you another question.
Okay.
Or I can talk about that if you want. Okay, here's my problem with that. I don't know how to scale how good I'm at something compared to something else. So like,
Yeah.
I know what I'm most naturally gifted at, and that's math.
Math. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Math. Because math is very, very intuitive to me. Like I think I said before, like my grade 12 advanced functions math course, learning that or doing that course, I learned math, but I also I feel like it all applied to, it like connected my whole mind.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like everything in math applies to everything else for me, but not for I mean, I think for you it might a little.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like, you're pretty mathematically inclined too. So math definitely, but like I don't know if there's anything I'm better than my grade 12 math that I like don't really remember now. You know what I mean? Like I'm good at. Or like cubing. I'm pretty good at cubing. I put a lot of hours into cubing. I know that like compared to other people I'm not that good, but like I've put thousands of hours into it, but like I don't know how to scale that to something else, you know?
You're getting to like specific skills.
Huh?
You're getting to like specific things and like specific skills and like.
What were you thinking of?
I was like thinking like more abstract, big picture things. Like,
give me some of those, because maybe I can reimagine.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I've put more time and effort into like other things than like math or cubing or anything like that. But I don't know how to like specify them. You know what I mean? As a skill or even as an abstract.
Yeah, I feel like there's some. I can think of a lot of sort of things that I'm good at, but I feel like there's something more about like behind that.
Like, what are some of those things?
I guess, like, it's weird that I can often be good at video games randomly.
Yeah. How you're just good at every video game that you've never played. Yeah, no, I see what you mean. There's something behind that. 100%.
Yeah. And, like, for, like, generally sports, like, I feel like...
Yeah. Like, video games. You're good at video games. Some of it is like, well, you're familiar with... You played a lot of video games, so you're familiar with controllers, you're familiar with keyboard, and you're familiar with the 3D spaces that video games can have. But also, it's like, you're good at games that you just haven't played before, or like sports, or like... That's why I was saying you'd probably be good at golf, because you'd be like figuring out how to do it better.
Yeah, maybe I'm good at seeing the problem where other people don't. Seeing the...
Identifying the problem and taking the next step to...
Yeah, or like, breaking down a thing into its parts and identifying that, like... I feel like when I play games with you guys, like, I guess here's a weird example.
Sure.
The Discord golf game. Like, yeah. I feel like I'm thinking through all these different things and y'all just are playing golf. Like,
exactly. We're just like, and you're like, yeah.
Like, I'm identifying all the variables that account for things and like things.
I feel like that's a weird things like that. I'm trying to like figure out what I have.
Yeah.
In a similar way, and I feel like there's something about like identifying problems and figuring out how to get through them. There's something about the generic problem solving process that I have a particular knack for. but it's not. I know it's not the same as yours because yours is almost like immediate and quick paced. You know what I mean? So like, if we both start a game and I initially have some kind of advantage, you're still increasing faster than me. So by the end of the hour where we're playing it, you're like better than me at it. You know what I mean? But I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's more like I'm playing the long game or something.
Yeah, let's go.
I don't know.
You're the exponential function.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, I got to think about that. That's a cool question.
It is. Do you daydream? What does you best at? Okay. Here's a question that you can answer maybe quickly, maybe not. Have you thought about traveling? Like, is there any place where, like, I would love to go to, like, Sicily or something? I don't know.
Yeah, honestly,
is there anything specific?
Most of my life, not really. I'm like, every place is just a place. And guess what? There's people who live there, and they're experiencing a similar life to how I am. And
exactly, yeah.
And it's like, that's just their normal thing, and this is my normal thing. And to me, I get, like...
Right, yeah. So, like, you wouldn't just want to travel, you'd be like, you want to go to a specific place for a specific reason, almost? Or there would have to be a specific reason if you were going to travel?
Sort of, but, like, I also just, like, didn't totally understand the concept of traveling. Like, I'm going to want to go to a different, like... How do I word this? I'm going to want to go to Europe or whatever, and, like, the people there, they're just living in Europe, and I'm just living here, but somehow it's special for me to go there to where they're living. It's like...
Well, yeah, because you don't live there.
Yeah, but...
That's the point.
Yeah, but I don't know. Until now, I haven't really been interested, but then, like, going here for university stuff, it's more like... I guess it's opened up my mind to, like... It's kind of cool to check out new places and explore new areas.
Yeah.
And every place is a little bit different.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I haven't...
Yeah.
I haven't had much time to put much thought into it because most of my life I didn't really care about traveling.
Yeah.
But
I feel like almost the same thing for me. It's like I haven't really thought about traveling. I would definitely want to go to Rome and the Holy Land at some point. Not the Holy Land right now.
Oh yeah.
But like those are two like specific places that I would want to go to at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But like generally traveling, I haven't really thought about it much until like when I went to Wyoming and stuff. Just talking to a bunch of different people from a bunch of different places all over the country was very interesting. And also seeing like the Grand Tetons, like these huge mountains, was kind of crazy. So it was like, man, like it's cool. It would be cool to like, I don't know, see what's around, like see what places you can see and people to talk to that's around. But also, another part of it was like, I kind of know, like, I don't really actually want to go somewhere now because it's like, there's people here that I can talk to that have, like, maybe they don't have different, the difference in the people's lives who live in a different place versus here is not really that relevant to, like, how you live your life. You know what I mean? Like, if the weather's different in Texas and that's interesting, well, that's kind of surface level. But, like, there's a lot of people in the city I live in who have really interesting stories and deep lives. And so it's almost like I already have access to the value of talking to other people where I am rather than somewhere else. Right. You know what I mean?
Exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Like, the value you get from talking to other people is at a deeper level than where they live. That's my point. So, basically, I don't want to spend money traveling.
Exactly. I also thought of a slightly better way to explain what I was thinking. Is that I feel like a lot of because my thought process didn't align with the idea of traveling, it sort of seemed like a weird self-centered thing to me. Like, there's already a bunch of people living in Paris, but I gotta go there and see if it's cool. But like, they already know. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, you're saying it's self-centered to like have to double check whether Paris is a good place.
Yeah.
Is a good place. That's why you go there.
I get it. It's like you do it for fun and like you do it, but like It's been interesting to see like I gotta experience all the world. I don't know.
Yeah. Who would be your ultimate heroic spirit and their accompanying noble phantasm? Is there any specific historical figure that you would choose?
I feel like I don't know history that good, and
okay, fair
this
enough.
is sort of similar to like the whole who we have dinner with.
Oh yeah, no, that's true.
And I don't know any historical figures, but let's think.
What about like
Benjamin Franklin. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I don't know. I thought of like a interesting saint at one point. I was like,
cool
they would
idea.
have a cool Like Joan of Arc is a heroic spirit in Fate.
Are there other saints?
Wait, is Joan of Arc a heroic spirit, or does he only think it's Joan of Arc?
No, Joan of Arc is a heroic spirit, but I don't think you've seen them.
Oh, okay.
Because
Is she in the one where it's like a 5v5?
It's like the teams, yeah.
She's in that one?
She's like because of the way it's weird, there has to be like a referee, and she's the referee of the thing.
Sure, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically,
yeah,
that would be cool to have like a saint or something.
Yeah, but I thought of one which I would have like a cool noble
It's
phantasm.
like you're painting
Oh,
saint.
the one you were talking about, Paul the Sixth. What?
What?
Paul the Sixth.
Paul the Sixth? I was talking about Paul VI?
Well, I was talking about Novus Ordo, and you were like, that sounds like a noble phantasm.
Oh.
Paul VI was the pope that promulgated the Novus Ordo. So.
Yeah, it does sound like a no phantasm.
Yeah.
That would be sick. Paul VI.
That'd be so weird.
Dang. Nice. That's cool.
You know Pope Pius X was called the Hammer of Heretics?
Of heretics?
Yeah, the Hammer of Heretics.
Did he hammer the heretics, or did
He hammered the modernists, yeah. He was like
cool.
the ultimate anti-modernist pope or something. Yeah, I don't know.
That's pretty impressive.
It is
Good job.
modernism. He called it like the heresy of all heresies or something. Anyways, so you got an answer? You want me to go on?
Obama. Next question.
Obama Prism!
Obama.
That's a noble phantasm. Would you want to be famous?
Would I want to be famous? That's a good question.
It is a good question. That's
So,
what I thought of.
Here's the thing.
Ask it.
Most of my childhood, I want to be a YouTuber.
Hey, let's go. I did too. I was I don't know.
I'd be like, that'd be sick. Everyone thinks I'm cool.
You're cool.
They
You're
recognize
rich.
me.
You get to play Minecraft.
Yeah.
Do your job. It's perfect.
Just chill, do nothing. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like YouTubers, instead they've complaining about being like, just being famous so hard. Like, people talk about me and stuff.
Being famous is so hard.
But if they could choose not to be famous, I feel like they would still choose to be famous.
Yeah.
So I feel like it would be kind of sick to, like,
be famous.
Yeah. And not like maybe not like a bait like. Maybe not like Taylor Swift famous or anything.
No,
because I would be like murdered or something, and I wouldn't be able to like socialize normally
Taylor
with anyone.
Swift isn't murdered.
I know, but like I have to have security and stuff.
Yeah, whenever you're in public, you can't.
Yeah.
Like you would want to be able to go to the grocery store and not get mobbed.
Yeah,
but, like, you might get recognized. You know,
and like I feel like that level of fame is like you literally can't talk to anyone who doesn't know you're famous and whatever. So it would be really weird to socialize at all with anyone.
With anyone new, because they would already know who you are. Right?
But if you're like Dan TDM or something, like you can go to a party and no one knows you, and and you can just be normal. So
doesn't Dan TDM have like 20 million subscribers on YouTube?
Yeah, but if you go to some party, they're like the demographics probably not gonna line up. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
There's social circles where he could not be a YouTuber.
Wasn't he famous many years ago? He's like an older Minecraft YouTuber guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So I feel like I would want to be like a medium famous thing.
Okay. So like you could snap your fingers now and be that, like you'd want
Okay, now the way you say it that way,
Okay, no.
I feel like I would want to earn it.
No, yeah, sure, yeah. But like, if you could be like if okay, I think I understand. I understand your question.
Like
follow up.
Yes.
Actually, what are you saying?
Like if I were to earn it, I would be like, yay. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, that is yeah. Have you thought about like the problems of fame and like how you might deal with them? Like, have you thought that too? This is one of those things that like I feel like it would be a daydream thing. It's like I'm thinking about like, man, these famous people talk about how like they have I don't know they like Tom Yennett talks a lot about how like he had
that's who I was
issues
picturing.
with
I
that.
think.
He had a lot of issues with being famous.
He was also
like a 16-year-old.
He was also like on the border between, like he was not just medium famous. He was like he was part of one of the most popular series.
Like his peak streams for Dream SMP was like 600,000 or 700,000 viewers. Yeah, and that was like messing up his mental health. And
exactly.
Stuff. And like yeah.
So when you talk about daydreaming, you mean like thinking about like.
Well, actually, I don't know if that was a good example for daydreaming because daydreaming, I think, is more like I'm like picturing myself like in a certain scenario.
Oh.
And so maybe this wasn't as good an example. I guess maybe there's two aspects of daydreaming because it's like. And the more dreamy aspect of it is like thinking about like myself in a scenario or something.
Yeah.
But then also I feel like I just kind of get lost in my thoughts a lot. And that might be just thinking about like, man, like famous people have these problems. Like, ooh, what if I did this and this to counter those? You know what I mean? And like planned out.
Beat up the fans. Make a barricade.
Yeah.
Launch cannons at them.
Yeah.
I mean, what would the main problems be for like a medium dude? I don't know.
Like, have you thought about this stuff before, or
have I?
Yeah.
Not too much, honestly, but like, yeah, I feel like main issues are probably a lot of like mental stuff with people talking about you online and that kind of thing. So I guess go to therapy, and
Yeah.
Other than that, I feel like for a medium famousness, I feel like it's not too many issues.
Yeah. I feel like if I was gonna get famous, I would want to be famous like the way Jordan Peterson became famous, because he was like.
How did he be?
Well, so he had a YouTube channel where he put his
gaming
videos on. Huh?
Gaming videos?
Yeah.
He actually started in the Dream SMP.
Yeah. He just put his lectures up, and he got like. He was in like he probably had like 50,000 subscribers or something like that. So he's like not famous, but like he has a little bit of internet popularity. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like yeah. So people were watching his stuff, but he wasn't like getting recognized on the street all the time.
Was he a professor or something?
Yeah. So he was a professor, and a psychologist. I think basically his whole career. Well, not his whole career. Like since he was probably 30 or something, but. Because he did a lot of.
How old is he now?
He's 62.
Are you a super fan?
I am a super fan. He's my favorite person. Well, no, he's my favorite. Like, he's like if I wanted to talk to someone or meet someone, it would be him. But like he blew up more so in like 2016. And that's when he like blew up, and like he was so famous that like he couldn't do he had to stop his clinical work and stuff, and he was getting recognized and stuff, and now he's like really famous.
Does he still do professor stuff?
No, well he has his own online university, but that's not certified or anything.
That'd be crazy. Like you go to your class,
but no, he doesn't do that anymore. That would be awesome, but he tours where he gets 20,000 people in a stadium.
Was there like a particular thing that made him famous?
Yeah. So in 2016, there was a bill that the Canadian government was trying to pass called C-16, and he was saying, "No, this is a bad bill. Don't pass it."
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah. So, anyways,
what was C-16?
Bill. It was about like. It was about like gender pronouns or something.
Oh,
I don't know exactly.
yeah.
He was basically saying like this bill is proscribing you to speak a certain way, and not just restricting your speech, but it is like prescribing you to say certain things. And he's basically saying like you can't have that. So anyway, do you want me to finish off with the last question? Or do you want to do a second last and then last?
Whatever you think.
I'll do the second last. What do you think of the question? Are people more good or more evil?
What do I think of the question?
Yeah. Like, do you think that's a silly question, or do you think that's a valid question? Do you think you can answer that question?
By people, do you mean the whole of humanity?
Sure.
Okay. I think.
Or are they fundamentally good? You could say, or fundamentally evil.
Right. I think that's a very interesting question because I think you can approach it in a lot of different ways. I feel like a lot of people think that people are evil, and I guess it's easy to see it that way with a lot of current events and like
9/11.
Yeah, the current event. Yeah, right. And like pretty stupid things people do, you know. But I personally, I would always say people are good.
You think people are good?
Yeah, because I don't know. It's one of those things you just know, you know. It's my, I just know it.
You just intuit it.
Yeah, I just sort of.
That's interesting. Yeah. I feel like okay, so like you can like go about that question. I feel like when people ask it, I don't like the way a lot of people ask it because I feel like they're asking it as though like, do you think like the human being is in themselves good or in themselves evil? But I feel like the human nature isn't good or isn't evil. Like human nature is good. It's weakened by original sin, but it's still in itself it's good, right? But then like I feel like on a case you can go like is a specific person a good person or not a good person, you know what I mean? And so maybe the question the way your answer would apply to that would be like you're saying there are more good people than there are bad people in the world. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Like on average?
Sure. But I don't even know. Like I always
like the way I see it, I don't know. My sort of intuition is like someone can be a bad person, but there can be like that person, and you can look at them and it's like good. Like they're not a good person, but it's still like good in their being. I don't know.
I don't know what you're saying.
I guess it depends on how you think about good, but
yeah. I think the question can mean two things. Like, are like people in their being good? Like, should they exist almost? Versus like, are they a morally good person?
Yeah.
You know. I feel that's an interesting question though, because like people are always like, oh, like I'm a good person, or like, oh, he's a good guy, you know. But like, and I feel like most of the time when you're talking to like a civil person, like they seem fine, you know. But I feel like a lot of time when you talk to them more, it's like I don't really know how good of a person they really are. You know what I mean? Like fundamentally, and it's not like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's very interesting to think about, though.
Yeah, I honestly I don't know what I'm thinking.
Okay, yeah.
But
fair enough.
yeah. But like, do you get what I mean when I say like?
No.
No, at all, not at all.
Okay. If you say it again, maybe I'll get it.
Like, it's like a very evil person. Like they're very morally evil. It feels like
Hitler.
Yeah. But like as a
sort of concept, I think that doesn't necessarily make them exempt from being good as a.
Like ontologically good.
I don't know what that word means.
Like in relation to being, like their existence is good,
I guess.
but their actions aren't.
I guess. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah. Well, like being and existence is good in itself.
Yeah.
But like you can be. That means you exist. You can be a bad person.
Ooh, I see what you did.
You know,
because they exist.
like people in hell exist, but they're still in hell because they are morally corrupt. You know.
What does it mean to be morally corrupt?
Like your actions the way you have acted in your life is fundamentally not ordered towards living a good life, not ordered towards the good. Like you're preferring evil things versus good things. Like let me try to think of like a specific instantiated example.
I can't imagine how that would exist for a person other than like psychopathy or something. Like what they just like all they like.
So like think about I don't know. I'm trying to think of a specific example, but none are coming to mind. But I know specific examples. But also there is like an element of mystery to it. Like, why would anyone want to not live a good life? You know?
Like this. It's hard to imagine. Like, put myself in the shoes of someone who like is completely evil and commits atrocities and stuff, but like they're still a person. There must be.
Yeah. Jordan Peterson talks about this. He talks about how if you were living in Nazi Germany you would be surprised as to what like you would do, and like you would be a Nazi in Nazi Germany, chances are, because you're a person just like all the other people in Germany who became Nazis. You know, so like
I feel like that. I don't know if that's exactly what I'm saying, because like that almost makes it seem like, is that what an evil person is then? Like a Nazi?
Well, yeah. So like, here's the thing. Like, you could be like Hitler. He was
I feel like
leading all that. You know what I mean?
Nazi.
Yeah. But if you're supporting the Holocaust and you're in Nazi Germany and you're like, yeah, kill the Jews, how can you be a good person if you're doing that? You know what I mean?
So is the difference between good people and bad people just circumstance?
No, not necessarily. Because you can robustify your character by looking into the evil in your heart, almost. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think of the way Jordan Peterson talks about it, because he talks about this. He talks about how or I think this is the idea of the shadow. It's like you could be a bad person. You know what I mean? So like you shouldn't not think about that. Like you should think about that and you should like map that out. Like if you were a bad person, what kind of bad person would you be? What kind of atrocities would you be doing? You know what I mean? And so that you can guard yourself against that.
But how do you know that works?
I don't know.
You should believe? That just seems just as bad as the Nazis. You're just
what do you mean?
I mean, have you tried that?
Yeah.
And have you found that you aren't an evil person?
Have I found that I'm not an evil person?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Have you?
I don't think I'm an evil person. No, I think
So how do you know the Nazis also didn't do that, and they were like, "Oh, I'm not an evil person."
What? Are you saying it's subjective?
Like,
What are you saying? So like,
how can you so confidently be like, "Oh, I can examine my heart"?
listen. So here's the thing. I'm
You're
not
like,
saying that if I were put in these situations, I wouldn't do evil things.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I am saying
You can check if you're
that, like, there's a phrase. What's it called? Like a saying, or a phrase, or I don't know what to call it, but it's like a phrase. There before the grace of God go I, which is to say,
I've heard that, yeah.
which is to say,
well, actually, Lovejoy.
Lovejoy.
Not that, but they play off of it.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. What song?
The one with the plane crash. Da 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 da.
Yeah. Never was a fan of the internet. What is that one called? To feel good. Not sure if you want it, not sure if you need me. Yeah. And you can taste the beer. Call me what you like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what that means is you are being your life and your moral goodness is being supported by the grace of God, and if you didn't have that, you'd be lost without that.
So why didn't the grace of God support the Nazis?
You're hitting me with the hard question. So like, okay, think about it like this. Okay, you can think about it with people's relationship with the truth. So like, if you don't value the truth over, like, if you value the truth over like expediency, or say if you value expediency over the truth, then you are susceptible to facilitating
Expediency?
tyranny.
Do you just mean fast? Like,
No, so not just fast, but like doing something expediently would be like conveniently.
Yeah.
But you are sacrificing, or there's a word I'm missing. You're compromising truth or morality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you are valuing expediency over the truth, and you're not saying things that you should say when you should say them, you are making yourself susceptible to facilitating tyranny. Because the more you do that, the more you're likely to start. So, like, say people are promoting lies of some sort, right? Something that isn't true and is bad for society and is bad for humanity. And you are not standing up against it because it's expedient for you. Because it's more convenient for you to not, because then you're not going to be risking your job, or you're not going to be risking this or that. But you're not saying the truth because of that, right? Well, part of that is like you do have to value your job, you know. So like if you have a family, like you need your job, you know what I mean? But that can allow them to go farther with it, with the lies, right? And then the more and more you suppress what you know you should say, you're going to be corrupted by those lies, or the more likely you are to. Yeah. And when you start being corrupted by those lies, you're going to start facilitating them, and you might actually start believing them. because you're not saying what you knew was true.
This sounds a lot like 1984.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't read 1984, but I'm sure it all lines up with that.
Yeah.
And so if you, what are we talking about even? Good people or something? What was your question?
Well, how can you? Well, first it was, is goodness a result of circumstance? When you said, "Oh no, I can justify my heart and examine myself," I'm saying, how do you know? What were you just talking about? Expediency.
Expediency. So if you're valuing expediency over truth, you are making yourself susceptible to corrupting yourself,
Right. So you're
your
saying,
own self and the world and society.
Yeah. So you're saying it's not just based on where you are. There's this thing that always leads to evil, no matter where you are.
What do you mean?
Or there's some sort of or some sort of universal direction, either towards good or towards evil.
Yeah. So like if so I think regarding like circumstance, there's two sides of it.
Yeah.
Number one is like you do have an interior disposition either towards the truth and towards goodness or like against it, but also like you're a complicated being, you know?
An interior disposition.
Yeah. So like if I'm interiorly fundamentally at the base level or orienting myself and my actions towards goodness and towards the truth, if I'm willing the good, that fundamentally could make me a good person, right? In a certain sense, or in the proper sense, I guess, is what I'm saying. But the righteous man falls 7 times a day. That's in like the Epistle of James or something. I don't know.
That's good.
Which is to say, even people who are righteous and who are holy are going to sin either way, or are going to have their faults.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all the more the less righteous people. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna have your struggles, right? And it could be the case that in life you are in a bind where what?
I had a thought. Maybe we bring the volume down 2 notches because it's 1 a.m.
Oh, why? Other people sleeping?
Yeah.
Oh,
But it's fine. Keep going.
Yeah. So it could be the case that your circumstance, that if you were in a different circumstance, you would be not a good person. You would be an evil person.
Yeah.
You know, it could be that could be the case, right?
Yeah.
But you're still fundamentally morally responsible, right? Because even if you were in a more difficult circumstance, you are still being offered the ability to be a good person, and through the grace of God, you know? So it might be more or less difficult in different situations, which may cause you to either be a good person or not in different circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Although, like, I don't know if you can even say, if you could even say, if this were to happen to me, I would act in a certain way, because you're not in that situation.
Exactly,
so, you don't know exactly how your free will would. Yeah, so. But that's to say, like, circumstance does play a part, but also fundamentally, you are in the final analysis, you're morally responsible. You're still morally responsible for your own self and your own will. You know? Anyways, well, what are we talking about? I need to read 1984.
Yeah, you should read 1984.